Welcome to day 6 of Respark. You've made it. Most people quit by day 3. They tell me they get scared by the honesty, overwhelmed by the work, or convinced that this is the kind of stuff that works only for other people. But you stayed. You stayed for the hard conversations, the truth about obligation and resentment and disconnection. That tells me something critical about you. You're serious about transformation, not just quick fixes. So we need to settle something today. Rejection. It's the ghost that haunts every bedroom, invitation, every moment of vulnerability in struggling marriages. The fear of no kills more desire than almost any other force. But this is a shift that I want you to make when it comes to rejection. Rejection is not about you. It's data. It's information. And today you're going to learn how to use that information to deepen connection, not destroy it. So to do that, I want to introduce you to what I call the REACH method. It's a 5-step system that transforms rejection from a relationship killer into a relationship builder. This isn't just simple theory. This is the exact framework that I use with couples in my own practice, and it works when you work with it. Now, I want to pause and say something about this for a second. As I've said before, my entire career has been spent learning how to transform a practice of communication, that is, me sitting in my office with clients, into real life tools. Some of the things that I offer you may sound awkward, unusual, or strange. They're all meant to be tools that generally work well for everyone, but I'm expecting that you take these and transform them into your own language, but it requires practice. So that being said, let's start with the REACH method. The R is for reflect. Pause and own your own response. When rejection hits, your brain screams, danger, danger, fight or flight, or freeze, and you want to withdraw. You want to get angry or spiral into the I'm not wanted narrative. Remind her that, God, there's always something in the way, or there's always an excuse. Stop. The first move is always internal. Reflect on what's actually happening in your body and mind right now. Notice the stress. Notice the pain. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? What story am I telling myself about this? Is it about my worth? Or is this about timing, stress, or something else entirely that can explain this? Maybe you need to go back and deepen intimacy. There's always a reason why desire isn't present. Remember, sex cannot be a mood ring. It can't be an ego stroker. Sexual acceptance can't be the thing that you need in order to feel close to your partner or to feel good about yourself. That is something that you have to do on your own. Now, most people skip this step and just react from their woundedness. And that's how rejection becomes poison and cyclical. Reflection is how it becomes information. The E in the REACH method stands for elevate. You need to rise above your own interpretation and listen to what's going on with your partner. Your partner's no to sex is not a no to you as a person. You have to work to separate the invitation from your identity and your ego. Elevate your perspective. Yes, of course you can be frustrated, especially if you perceive that your partner's not doing his or her part to meet you where you are. But this moment is not a moment for a verdict on your attractiveness, your worth, or your future together. Tell yourself, this is about right now. This is not about us forever. This is about her current capacity, not my value. I can handle this because I'm not desperate. I'm confident. And when you're sexually confident, you know that something is going on with your partner or between the two of you. Sexual scarcity mindset or insecurity causes you to react from a place of woundedness. The A in the REACH method stands for ask. Get curious, not defensive. Instead of retreating or pushing, get curious. Ask open-ended questions that invite your partner to share what's really going on. Maybe she feels some leftover pressure and she's scared to tell you how she really feels. Remind her of the commitment to the golden rule. No is always welcome. Ask her what's weighing on you today. Is there something that you need to tell me or something that I don't understand about what you're going through? What would feel best to you right now? This is not about negotiating for sex. It's about understanding your partner's world. When someone feels truly seen and understood, intimacy flows naturally. The C in the REACH method stands for connect. Of course, you know this. I've been adamant about connection, about intimacy. Build safety through care after rejection. When no shows up, most couples create distance. The rejected partner withdraws, and the other partner feels guilty, and nobody wins. Maybe you've experienced that moment where there's an initial no and an immediate response to rejection, and then a lower desire partner gives in and says, no, it's okay, we can, but you already still feel bad, and she still feels guilty. Overcome that moment with curiosity and communication. Move intentionally toward connection, even though you feel the way that you feel. Touch without an agenda, listen without solving. Use the communication tools that I've taught you in the previous lessons. Say things like, I trust your no. When you're ready for yes, I want it to be real. You don't owe me anything. I love being close to you in whatever way that feels good. This doesn't mean you can't ever challenge your partner. Just don't use the moment of invitation to do that. Have a separate conversation at another time to talk about the feeling of ongoing frustration that you have about not being able to connect sexually. Finally, the H in the REACH method is for heal. Use rejection as diagnostic information. By now, you should be able to use this reset as like a diagnosis, a way to understand what's really going on. You already know where to look. There's an obstacle in the way. The division of labor is unbalanced. There's a lack of depth. That you have enough data to be able to understand what's really going on in the moment. The last thing that you need to do is remove the tension around rejection. Make bold invitations, but welcome your partner's no as an opportunity to understand what's really going on. Every no tells you something valuable about what's going on in your relationship. So use rejection as a mirror. Look at the bigger picture. Address root causes, not just stuff on the surface. Instead of saying, sometimes I just don't want sex, get into what's really going on. I don't feel connected to you, or I'm overwhelmed and I need some support. Let's talk about putting REACH into practice. Here's your next challenge. The next time you face rejection, use this method. Don't skip steps. Don't react from your old patterns. Work the system. Reflect on your internal response. Elevate above taking it personally. Ask curious questions. Connect through care and safety, and heal by addressing what rejection is actually trying to tell you. Here's what 18 years of counseling and coaching has taught me. Desire doesn't return because your partner changes. It returns because you become a person who naturally generates attraction, safety, and connection. Turn neediness into magnetism. You stop demanding desire and start creating the conditions where it flourishes. The couples who transform their sex lives don't just learn techniques. They become people worth wanting. Remember, sexual desire is about attraction. How do you want what you already have? Be committed to your own personal development. Become committed to emotional stability, genuine confidence, and the ability to create safety and playfulness simultaneously. Before we end, I want to leave you with a small metaphor. My son consistently asks me what my favorite animal is because his changes every 5 minutes, and I tell him the same thing every time. It's the Japanese pufferfish. The Japanese pufferfish evolved for defense. It looks brown, it's got boring spots that helps it make it camouflage, and it's got spines and poison in its skin. But it doesn't really have anything that helps it attract a mate. In order to do that, it swims away from the coral reef, goes to the barren sea floor, and creates a beautiful design in the sand. Never does it go back and ask for approval from the other fish. It just creates out of its own genius. And then, at some point, a little pufferfish mate swims up. And then at some point, it attracts a mate by its design. This is the perfect metaphor for how to create attraction within a relationship. Create out of your own design. Remember to pour into yourself. Get back into the gym. Get back into your hobbies. Build exciting relationships that add value to your marriage. These are the keys to building sustainable desire and attraction inside of a marriage. Our reset ends today, but your transformation is just the beginning. You have tools now. Remove obligation and pressure. Build authentic intimacy through vulnerable conversation. Communicate in ways that deepen trust and repair ruptures. Create an erotic environment through playful invitation, and transform rejection into connection using the REACH method. Tools are useless without consistent practice. The couples who win and recover from the fact that every marriage fails are the ones who show up daily, who catch themselves falling into old patterns, because you will fall into old patterns. You just return graciously toward growth. Your final challenge for the next 30 days, I want you to practice everything you've learned. Use reach every time you face rejection. Have those intimate conversations. Maintain the golden rule and keep inviting playfulness back into your relationship. Most importantly, continue to stay committed to the change that you came here for. I'll see you on the other side.